The shuttle's hatch hissed open, spilling stale air into the dim corridors of Station K7. Emergency lights flickered, casting jagged shadows across cracked metal walls. Riley Holt, the lone human among 6 alien cadets from distant star systems, adjusted her survival vest and stepped onto the grated floor, her boots clanging softly. Each cadet bore the crest of their homeworld, trained in advanced technologies far beyond Earth's. Yet Riley's instincts, honed by human grit, set her apart. The mission was clear but brutal. Restore the station's life support, lighting, and communications without fuel, AI, or pre-charged cells. This was their final Level 3 engineering exam, testing not just skill, but ingenuity under pressure. No tools or implants were allowed. Solutions had to come from the station's wreckage. Commander Vishal's voice boomed from a ceiling speaker. "Cadets, your assessment begins now. The station's core is dead. Oxygen lasts 72 hours. Restore functionality or fail." Silence followed, then chaos. Monzek, a green-skinned Zachary, darted to the power console, muttering calculations. The Shien twins, Luron and Vessie, with their delicate blue forms, rushed to the reactor room. Doro, a hulking Grask, stormed after them, shoving anyone in his way. Riley, however, lingered, her eyes on a doorway marked Training Wing, Sub-Level C. Instinct told her the others were chasing dead ends. She ventured alone into dusty, unlit corridors, her wrist torch, a hand-cranked dynamo, guiding her. Passing broken lockers and shattered panels, she reached a room labeled K7 Conditioning and Human Hab Support. Inside, 2 broken treadmills, a snapped rowing machine, and cracked crates stood abandoned. A plaque read, "In motion, there is power." Riley's lips twitched. Ironic or prophetic, it didn't matter. She sat on a crate, her mind racing. The others sought high-tech fixes, but this station offered only scraps. Her Earth training whispered, "You don't wait for power. You become power. Your motion is voltage." The treadmill's frame, though rusted, had an intact belt, roller, and magnetic resistance mechanism. Crude, but workable. Riley envisioned a generator. Movement could create energy. Not enough for a reactor, but maybe for lights, a relay, or oxygen filters. She scavenged copper wire from a crate and began dismantling the treadmill with a makeshift toolkit, a belt buckle, a nail, and a metal shard. Her hands moved with purpose, unhindered by grime. The motor, though old, could spin, and spinning meant current. Meanwhile, the others faltered. Monzek shorted a wire cluster, darkening a hallway. The Shien twins' coil converter lacked materials. Doro smashed panels, finding nothing. They didn't notice Riley's absence. In Sub-Level C, she rigged the treadmill's motor to a pulley system, linking it to a salvaged capacitor. Pedaling manually, she generated a flicker of voltage. It wasn't elegant, but it worked. She envisioned a battery loop, charged by shifts of motion, powering critical systems. While others chased miracles, Riley spun a wheel. Hours passed in a blur of sweat and metal creaks. Riley's hands blistered as she refined her setup, adding the rowing machine's pedals to drive the treadmill's motor. A voltmeter flickered higher with each push. Exhausted, she collapsed on the cold floor, the capacitor's faint hum her reward. A distant crack echoed, another failed attempt above. She smirked. They were solving the wrong problem. Footsteps approached. Luron entered, eyeing her setup with suspicion. "What is this?" he asked. "Manual energy loop," Riley replied. "It spins, it generates." He scoffed, calling it a glorified hamster wheel, and left. Riley didn't flinch. Humanity was often underestimated. Too raw, too low-tech. But humans didn't quit. She pedaled harder, the capacitor glowing brighter. A chime rang through the intercom. A subsystem had activated. The wall panel showed Environmental Control, Sector C3, low oxygen flow restored. Riley grinned. She'd bought time, but her body was fading. She needed help. Vessie appeared, her yellow skin glowing faintly. "I heard the air change," she said, inspecting the setup. crude but logical. She revealed the others' failures. Luron had quit, Monzek was injured, Doro was breaking doors. I care about breathing tomorrow, Vessie said. Riley nodded. Then help me move this. They realigned pulleys, Vessie's finesse complementing Riley's grit. They took shifts pedaling, the motor humming steadily. The capacitor surged and a ceiling light flickered on. A dead screen displayed, communications relay, bootstrap mode. They'd reached secondary systems. Riley checked the voltage. One ping to signal the monitors, she said. Vessie agreed. They found Monzek, leg-bandaged, sulking near the reactor. I need your legs, Riley said bluntly. He stared, then stood, limping but resolute. In the gym, they built 2 more seats from broken chairs. Monzek pedaled silently. Vessie counted rotations, and Riley monitored the capacitor. Air reclamation hit 32%. The station stirred. Doro arrived, skeptical but curious. Vessie had told him about the leg-powered plan. He sat, his massive frame accelerating the system. The regulator turned green, oxygen levels climbed, and 2 sectors lit up. Riley rerouted power to the DB block, and the station hummed louder. A console offered a choice: life support, communications, or defense. They chose life support. Oxygen doubled, CO2 filters engaged, and a cool breeze swept through. Doro laughed. You humans win with sweat. For hours they worked in shifts. Riley rewired corridors, Vessie optimized the grid, Monzek built a reserve capacitor, and Doro cleared ventilation shafts. By night cycle, 6 sectors had power. Food dispensers whirred, spitting out rations. A message from the instructors confirmed Phase 1 success and offered an optional continuation. Full station restoration. Riley didn't hesitate. Yes, she said. They weren't done. Over 16 hours, they transformed the station. Riley calibrated sensors, Vessie rewired scanners, Monzek automated power cycles, and Doro unjammed ducts. Riley found an auxiliary systems relay, swapping its corroded board with scavenged parts. The station's intelligence activated, automating tasks. Air scrubbers self-regulated, lights stabilized, and doors unlocked. The station lived again. At hour 72, Commander Vyshal appeared on-screen. Most cadets fail in a day. Few reach the uplink. You restored everything. He praised Riley's leadership, Vessie's adaptability, Monzek's recalibration, and Doro's strength. Full honors, he declared. Your methods will reshape training protocols. The screen went dark. Riley laughed, a deep, relieved sound. Vessie smiled faintly. With a treadmill, she said. Doro chuckled. With legs. Riley shook her head. With persistence.